Good morning. I'm so pleased that I can finally do this walkthrough video of the DIY camper conversion that I've completed over the last 5 years. I've been on the tools for 20 years and I'm pretty proud of what I've managed to achieve, and yeah, I'll show you in depth what has happened to this 2008 Ford Transit. So I'm going to attempt to explain exactly what it is I did in this van. I'm not a professional van builder, but after 20 years of being on the tools, you learn a thing or two about construction. So like I said, I'll try to walk through and help other people understand what I've done possibly to help with their conversion. So let's start with insulation. The van was covered in Celotex, then the foil wrapped bubble wrap, then ply, and then white rock. Well, that's what I call it. And white rock is something that you see in commercial bathrooms, and the reason I like the idea of this is because it is white clean. And when I come in from my kayak fishing trips, I can come into the van to take off my wet dry suit. The van gets covered in wet marks, but literally the next day everything just wipes clean. The areas that weren't covered in white rock were covered in pine cladding, and I just wanted to break up all the white in the van. And as you can see, my OCD with things being plumb, parallel and level is apparent, because I had to have all my screws in line and with a screw cup. But I love the way that this turned out. So kitchen. The kitchen has a fridge, which is gas. It also has a boat oven, which is gas. Obviously a kitchen sink, which is cold water and hot water. All the units were made with marine ply, which I adhesived or stuck the white rock to, and then beveled all the edges, and it is a complete piece of ply and white rock. There's not a single joint in this kitchen, which is something I was proud of. So all the drawers were also built with marine ply and faced with the white rock, and soft close action drawer sliders installed. So the oven is a Nelson boat oven, which has oven and 2 gas hobs. This is all connected to a LPG bottle that's welded to the bottom of the van. It's massive. I've only ever had to fill that bottle twice, and I've been a lot of places in this van with the heating and oven in use. It's very efficient. So underneath the bed I built some under storage, and they are 1 metre deep, so there's 2 of them, so that you've got plenty of room for all your stuff. Stop. So with space being limited, I struggled to get the table in, so I came up with this idea of a table which can be moved out of the way when not needed and locked into place, and then you just sit on the end of the bed and have your dinner. Now, after 20 years of being a plumber, there was no way that I could not have installed a toilet and shower in this van. The Water is supplied via a storage tank which is bolted to the underside of the van. Yeah, you have a toilet, a shower tray with really nice mastic sills, and that is actually the exit for the heating, which I'll show you in a minute. Now, regarding the bed, I have issues with my lower back from being a plumber for 20 years, and the idea of sleeping on foam just wasn't going to work. So I brought the mattress and built the bed to suit a mattress, and I have a good night's sleep in there, as if I'm in my own bed in my home. It's really good. And then the bed has been lifted off the floor, which creates all the storage underneath the bed. So underneath the bed is where the gas comes in from the LPG bottle that is welded to the underside of the tank. And then I've run soft copper 8mm pipe to things like the Propex hot air heater. Underneath the bed is also where the cold feed comes up from the cold water storage tank and comes round into the filter, into the pump, into an accumulator, and then into the Propex water heater. And then it comes back out, tees off, up to the shower and down to the kitchen sink. The exhausts come out of the flue, which also sucks the fresh air in and releases the the fumes. Also behind here we have the fill for the cassette toilet and the cassette, which works really nice. On the van I fitted 2 windows which have built-in blinds and like bug guards, and they work really well. So underneath the van you can see the LPG bottle, which is welded to the underside of the van, and the cold water storage tank, which is filled via that point in the van. So finishing up a description of the hot and cold water system, the control for the pump is here, and then you can get running water, which is pretty good. So the water heater takes about half hour, 40 minutes to warm up, and that can be run on gas only or 230 if you have a campsite hookup. Once you give that time to heat up and the accumulator to build its pressure, you have instant hot water. Obviously it's the same pressure for the shower. So as I mentioned earlier, this van has a Propex hot air heater, which is simply controlled via that switch. The heater is underneath that corner of the bed, and the hot air enters into the bathroom and fills up the van with heat. Final thing to mention possibly is the van, I installed a sunroof with built-in fly screen, and that adds a serious amount of light into the sleeping area. It works well. So I'm extremely proud that I did all of this work myself. It was a push of my skills, but I'm extremely proud of what was achieved, and the only thing that I refuse to do myself is the electrics. So that was actually done by a qualified electrician. So I don't really understand what this stuff is, but I know that's for your tank, that's for your gas fill, and this is to swap from 12 volt to 230 volt if you hook up. But I never have to touch any of this. You walk into the van and use what you want to use, and it works. It's brilliant. Thank you for watching this video. I appreciate it. I am going to do some before and after photos of the build so you can see exactly what it is I did. But if you do look through my personal blog of Pax 85, there's already some videos of the individual steps of creating this conversion. I do need a favour. The van is actually looking for a new home. I've had my fun with it, and it's getting used less and less, and I would like to sell it to put money into a boat fund. The issue is I have no idea of what a reasonable price to sell the van would be. So if anyone who recommends what you think it might be worth, those comments would be greatly appreciated. I'm not looking at making £1 million. I just want a fair price for the work that's been put into this van. Yeah, but thanks for watching. If you could, please share the video to let people see it and let potential buyers see that it is going to be on the market in the next few weeks. But yeah, thanks for spending the time to watch my video. Cheers.